So you think you're going to swing out, but really what happened?
So I go back to back. I kind of just overrided everything in my mind saying, don't do this. I'm like, because everything, your whole body screams, don't do it. And I just like, it's the only way down. You got to go. Go far back, and I just dropped into the cave. And just as I fall, there's that much slack, and I'm holding on to the ski rope like this, and it just jerks.
And you lost
I lost the rope.
Yeah.
Right as I hit the rocks. So I fall.
It snapped out of your hands.
Yeah, and I guess the rope just flies up like.
So now you're free falling.
Yep. So now I'm free falling. I fell, hit my feet, and we're figuring it was 20 to 30 feet that first initial hit, and the total fall is 60, 70 feet. So I fall, feet hit, centered, and then went head over, and I think I rolled 3 times before I hit the water.
Yeah.
Right down the cliff face, basically.
So there's a couple things that you chose to do right before you got out of the boat that you've told me about, which are super interesting, because it's like if you hadn't have made those choices, you probably wouldn't be here sitting on this podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to the Two Thumbs Up podcast. We love you. Thanks for tuning in today. I got my good buddy here, Heber Alldredge. He, has been through it the last little bit. And I've been excited to have you on the show, even before you got hurt, because you and I kind of talk about a lot of fun nutrition things and health things, supplement things. And so, but, yeah, bro, thanks for doing this today.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
It's been a long time coming.
And if you notice, Heber and I both, this is the brotherhood. We didn't realize we're going to be both wearing what I call Concussion Pros Blue on the show today, but we are Concussion Pros Blue. So thanks, yeah. So what have you been doing?
Recovering.
Recovering.
What, 3 months?
Yeah, has it been almost 3 months since the injury?
Yeah, beginning of May. No. Yeah.
So, yeah, it was, I was actually thinking this morning about, it was a Saturday, or was that Friday?
It was Saturday, 11 a.m.
Saturday. So let's talk a little bit about who you are a little bit, and what you love to do, and just kind of give people a little outline of some of the things you've always been interested in. I mean, I know you're a big outdoorsman, and that's your passion. So where did that whole thing start for you?
So the outdoors started when I just hunting and fishing when I was a kid with my dad and friends, and really started archery hunting when I was 14, and then archery hunted for deer, and then kind of got more into elk and took that on myself and learned it all from just trial and error, and
like learning it. Just and what would you say is when you're out there, you're doing this thing? Because I know you've mentioned to me before, when you're archery hunting, it's getting as close as you can, undetected.
Yeah.
And because you've mentioned that before, what is that about for you? Would you say?
Exactly that. Just as, you want to get as close as you can to that animal without it knowing that you were there, and be able to look it in the eye and send an arrow through it.
Wow, that's like, to me, that's like the true essence of hunting. Yeah. I mean, that's the is the word sport in it. That's there's a connection there between what you're doing and the animal, and it's like, no, it's almost a to me, it feels like a form of respect.
Yeah,
for that animal,
and it's a giant chess match. Hunting's kind of boring. You're out there. You enjoy nature.
Yeah,
but once you find an animal that you want to chase, then that's when the chess match begins. And archery allows the time when you find it till the time you get close enough to send an arrow. That period right there is the ultimate high, because you're trying to understand the wind, understand the landscape, and you got a prevailing wind, you got thermals to deal with, and you're trying to figure out, trying to avoid it smelling you, seeing you, and
then also the preliminary, efforts you make to find the animal,
Yeah.
and to recognize all those things you mentioned. Okay, what's the terrain here? What's the, to me, that you called it a chess match, but that's actually exactly what it is.
it is a chess match.
It's this an experience of finding, of learning all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And so, if you were to say like some of the things the chess match piece of it, but what do you get from it? What is the thing that you feel like you're like, oh, the achievement or the feeling you get from that?
I mean, it's the challenge, and it's, I mean, especially on public land, there's so many people out there doing the same thing, and the success rate's so low, that when you do achieve it, it's quite the achievement. And then bringing home the meat and enjoying that for the rest of the year is something else. And like we've talked about, just nutrition, understanding the nutrition of it, and the enjoyment of that as well.
One thing you had this injury. We'll talk about the injury here in a little bit, but I went and visited you in the hospital, and Aubrey wasn't there that day. I just kind of showed up, and I brought you some whatever. But you were sitting there watching on your phone the trail cam or something, this bear you've been looking for.
Yeah.
And here you are laying in the hospital bed, and you're like, look at this. So tell us a little bit about that. To me, it was like heartwarming, because I'm like, he's in there looking at and this bear shows up, exactly the one you've been looking for.
Yeah. And we'll get into it more, but I had a bear tag, which was a bait tag, where I set up a bait station, and we'd set up a bait station a day before we left on vacation, which I ended up getting in the injury. So I'm in the hospital, still receiving pictures from the trail camera of the bear, and I kind of had an idea of which bears were in the area because of the year before. I knew of a black bear that was a solid black. It was a black bear that was solid black, which is kind of rare for Utah. And it'd been like, I think I'd been in the hospital for a week or 2 weeks at that point, and that bear finally showed up on the camera, which was kind of heartbreaking. I couldn't figure out a way to get up there.
Well, you couldn't get up there at that point.
No, there was no walking, there was no four-wheeler or anything to do so.
And so you're like, you love doing those things, but one thing is also obviously your friendship and things mean a lot to me. But you've always been interested in nutrition and health.
Yeah. And
I know you and Aubrey spend a lot of time, considering your health and doing healthy things. And where would you say, your interest in that started?
So
'cause you wrestled in high school.
I wrestled ever since I was like 5.
Yeah.
And then after wrestling ended my senior years, I just went right into the gym. So 16, 17 years old. And I think that first year I probably put on, I wrestled at 135, finished as a senior. And within months after weightlifting, I put on 20, 30 pounds of muscle just because I went right into the gym.
And what is it about that pursuit of your health that is that you enjoy?
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
And then it all links back to hunting as well, because then I'm able to go further distances and mountains shrink, and you're able to go where most people can't. And I kind of look for areas that you can't take horses to. You can't, there's other, unless you're physically able to get an animal out of that area, then you can't be there.
Which kind of correlates to the significance of what you just went through. And it's kind of ironic that's the part of it you love, is the physicality and getting out and doing it in a unique way that only a few people can.
Yep.
And having a strong, healthy body, being mentally, physically strong to do those things. So when it comes to a health standpoint, what are some of the things that you have learned about yourself when it comes to supplementation and the long-term and the benefits of resistance training and those types of things for yourself? What have you learned as far as the benefits for yourself? Being strong, what else?
Well, the benefits of being strong. I mean, in this injury, it's been a huge benefit because I've been able to, I mean, like you told me right from the beginning, just there's certain things I wasn't able to move, but, you know, keep the things strong that are strong, which allowed me to recover even faster. But
yeah. So you're go on vacation. You go down Lake Powell, and you know, you've been down there a lot. You grew up down there, right?
We go down there once or twice a year.
Yeah, we've been down there together. And, so tell us a little bit about that weekend where, you know, you guys, there's a rope swing, and tell folks where that's at and where you guys were going.
So we went out of Antelope Point, out of Page, and up lake 2-3 hours. I don't know the canyon, but it was
past gun site.
Past gun site. Past Padres.
It's past Padres.
Yeah, it's an hour past that, and it's right same canyon that the toilet bowl was in.
Yeah, isn't
and
that
right
dangling
across
rope or up that way? Or
it's up that way, but I don't think that far. But there's a rope swing that's pretty known on social media, and it comes out of a canyon, and I think it dangles 150 feet, comes off the top wall and kind of wraps up into a canyon. And so we always go to it. I mean,
have you done that one before?
No.
You've just been...
No. Last year, we were before the toilet bowl fell, we climbed up that and jumped off the toilet bowl.
Right.
Which probably was, I don't know, 60-foot fall. But so this year, we pull up, and in years past, we'll pull up, and there's a rope that dangles, I think it's 150 feet, and you're out in the middle of the water, so you have to use your boat. And you reach up from the back of the boat to grab it. And in years past, there's usually a ski rope handle with another rope tied to it. And so you can hold on to that. And then we've had people just hold on to the rope, and you'll take the boat and pull it. And then that lifts people up, and then you can kind of drop. And none of us really, we've had, actually our friend Dave, he was climbing it last year to go actually do the whole swing and came back down, and that's the closest we've come to going off it. But this year we decided, as we're pulling up, Dave and I were like, we're going to do it. We're going to do the swing this year. And so we pulled up, and there was no other boats there. Well, at first we were pulling up, and it looked like it was gone, and we're kind of like, relieved a little bit, but everybody's like,
like it was gone.
Yeah.
We don't have to do this.
Yeah.
So there's some intuition right there, right? That's
it was kind of that feeling the whole time. Like even
what the heck are we doing?
Like everyone was kind of like, are you guys really doing this?
Yeah.
But Dave and I we're both like, oh, we're doing it this time, and we just had a different attitude. And we were pulling up, and we could see the rope dangling. We're like, oh, it's there. And the water it's a little lower this year. And so you have to stand on the back of the boat, and you reach up, and there's a ski handle, and you reach up on the back of the boat, and you grab the rope, and then you have to hook another ski rope to that, and you clip it on, and then you get the boat to pull you to shore, and then you take the other end of the ski rope that you connected, and you climb up the cliff,
so you can get to the actual.
So you can get to the platform to go off.
Yeah.
And so I've never even gone that far.
Well, even climbing up to that platform sketch.
Yes, and since then we've heard of people like just falling, climbing up, and getting more hurt than I got hurt.
Yeah.
But so you go to the shore, and you climb up this kind of cliff face to the platform, and there's a couple of ropes to get up, and then the last little bit there's like a little rock ledge that you got to go through, and there's someone that had got some finger holes that are probably 2 inches deep, and you just get your fingers in there, and you're going across the rock ledge to get over to this platform. And so I'm not one, I don't love heights. I mean, it's pretty, your adrenaline's going right as soon as you start climbing, what am I doing? But I mean, that's part of the fun of doing that type of stuff. And so you get up, you go across the ledge, you finally make it over to this platform, and it kind of in this cave, it's a big cave that goes up in, and then you're kind of on the side of the wall. And on the side of the wall, there's a long ledge, to say. And so it's not like there's just one little platform. It's a ledge that runs along the side of the wall. And so you get up there and you're like, okay, made it through all that sketch stuff, and you're on a platform, but you're still like, what the heck am I doing? Mm-hmm. And
for if anybody wants to see it, it's on TikTok. You can see
it's all
this.
over.
You can, if you want to look this area up.
Yeah, you just look up rope swing, Lake Powell.
Yeah.
And there's lots of videos of people going off it. And we figure it's 60 to 70 feet up when you're up there.
So you get up on this platform, finally, and you're like, whoa, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, tell me about that. So, because Dave, you went before Dave, and I know we know Dave, and Dave's great and awesome. And so you're up there. Was there any forethought? Was there any tell us that.
So once you're up there, you've got to unhook your rope that you used to get up there, and then you chuck it. And then I don't know how you get back down through that small ledge anyways.
So the only way down at this point is rope swing.
In my mind, there's no other way down than you're rope swinging. And I'm along this ledge, and I grab, so I'm like, first thing, you gotta get rid of that rope. So I hook our ski rope, chuck it down into the water, and then and there's a ski handle on the end of this ski rope. And so I'm looking at it, and I'm kind of pulling. I'm like, man, it sure seems like there's a lot of slack. But you're along the ledge, and so in my mind, I'm like thinking, okay, if there's that much slack, I've got to go to the end of this ledge, so back into the cave
to take the slack up.
Mm-hmm. And so I walk back as far as I can on that ledge, and then and the boats kind of like, I mean, I think I've heard everyone say like there's something not right, but and then you're looking at the ski rope, because ski ropes aren't very thick, and there was one loop that was tied a little higher than you got the handle of the ski rope, but there's a loop tied in the rope up a little higher. And in hindsight, I probably should have held on to the loop. But I had that thought, I'm like, I would rather hold on
something stable
that my hands could grip to better than a little loop that's tied into the rope. And in hindsight, after watching videos of people going off, people walk to the front of that ledge, and then you're over water the whole time when they go off, and there's usually more handles tied into it. And this rope gets cut by the rangers all the time, and so different people will set it up. And so the way this one was set up, because the water was low, it was set up long so you could reach it from the back of the boat.
I see.
And so when so in my mind, I'm like, I've got to go as far back into the cave as I can, and then go off that way.
So here you go. You go for it, and then so what do you explain to people what? So you're falling. So you think you're going to swing out, but really, what happened?
So I go back to back. I kind of just overrided everything in my mind, saying, "Don't do this." I'm like, because everything, your whole body screams, "Don't do it." And I just like, it's the only way down. You got to go far back, and I just dropped into the cave, and just as I fall, there's that much slack, and I'm holding on to the ski rope like this, and it just jerks.
And you lost
I lost the rope.
Yeah.
Right as I hit the rocks. So I fall.
It snapped out of your hands.
Yeah, and I guess the rope just flies up like.
So now you're free falling.
Yep. So now I'm free falling. I fell, hit my feet, and we're figuring it was 20 to 30 feet that first initial hit. And the total fall's 60, 70 feet. So I fall, feet hit, and then I hit my butt right underneath centered. And then went head over, and I think I rolled 3 times before I hit the water.
Yeah.
Right down the cliff face, basically.
So there's a couple things that you chose to do right before you got out of the boat that you've told me about, which are super
Oh,
interesting
yeah.
because
That's
it's
good.
like if you hadn't have made those choices, you probably wouldn't be here sitting on this podcast. And so you made a couple choices before you went. You picked a life jacket, per
Yes.
se, that you generally wouldn't have picked.
Yeah. So we're usually pretty, especially Dave, who's on the trip, he's very safe. If you get in the water, you wear a life jacket. And most people, when you'll...
And Dave knows this because he lost a friend down there.
Yeah, he's
I remember
lost
that.
a friend
Yeah,
down there
yeah.
on a Lake Powell trip.
Yeah, on a Lake Powell trip.
And so we're pretty safe about it. And so before I went up, getting on a life jacket, you open the back of the boat where the life jackets are. You have those real thin ones that everybody surfs with.
Yeah. That really are not even Coast Guard certified. Yeah.
No. So you have those ones. Excuse me. But our friend Kyle had one that was for using it on an air chair, which pulls you down a lot, and so it's extra thick. And I put that one on before I went up, which
And it
probably saved
there
my
was
life.
Yeah, because of the rib. Yeah, so yeah, probably saved your life. Because of the ability for it to keep your head up when you were in water. I mean, all these things that we want to talk about. But so you fall and you hit, and and I'd love to actually have Aubrey on sometime. She says no, but I would love to, because I love follow-ups to these type of experiences, because you had this experience, but yet she had an experience, and actually those that were with you had this experience, and friends that love you had an experience. But the one that's closest to you, Aubrey, having her one day we'll have you on. But
That perspective.
So you hit, and what's the first thing you realized? Were you unconscious?
No, I was alert. I remember the complete fall. I was very alert until I hit the water, and it goes underwater, and the life jacket brought me up, and then I groaned. And the people on the boat, because it's like a speaker box, that cave.
Yeah.
I mean, they said it was just loud, like boom, 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 the whole fall.
Yeah, echoes. Mm-hmm.
Echoes, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were all out where I should have been landing at the end of the swing. So, I mean, they were, I don't know, it's probably 200 feet out in the lake. And so I hit the water, and I remember coming up, and I groaned, and then I blacked out at that point. And when I blacked out, I was face down in the water. Mm-hmm. And
again, thank goodness for this extra buoyant life jacket. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I didn't swim or anything. The life jacket brought me back up. Mm-hmm. And so I groaned, blacked out, face down, and I kind of remember a kind of a peaceful dream. I don't remember any details or anything. But all of a sudden I came to oh, it's you. Here we go. And then I just wake up, lift my head and gasp.
That interests me. I love that. So tell me, what in that moment you had a peaceful experience?
Well, it wasn't pain or anything. It was just I don't remember exactly what it was or anything, but it was just kind of I don't remember it being scary. It was just kind of
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had never told me that. That gives me goosies. That's cool. So here you are. And the boat comes to get you, and I'm sure they pull you up onto the surf deck, or did you pull yourself up onto the surf deck?
So by the time I started coming to, one person from the boat had jumped in, started swimming towards me, and everybody was yelling.
Was it Candace?
There was lots of noise.
Who was it?
It was Amanda.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Amanda. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get you up on the boat, and you were,
as soon as I woke up, I just swam towards the boat. I mean, I was running on adrenaline, back of the boat right there. Swam up, just grabbed, lifted, kind of pulled myself up on about halfway, and then I'm like, oh, there's something wrong. And so then I just kind of flopped in the back seat, just laying across.
So again, there was some things that happened with, you're in the situation, and for whatever reason, you guys had an abundant of ice
Yeah.
on this surf boat, right? And
Yep.
for whatever reason, Lee was telling me, but why, he got the extra ice and all of these different things, but the ice, you're in the situation, and I want to talk about the injuries here in a second, but you're in the situation, and Candace or the crew had the wisdom to pack you in ice.
Yep.
Immediately you knew you had a fracture. Your foot was all jacked up.
So there's a big gash on my foot along the side by the big toe. That was probably 3 inches long, and it was deep, and so you could see that. But it really felt like my left butt cheek was just really bruised right away. And so we had all this ice because it was our last day, luckily, of the trip, and we had tons of ice left. So we had full bags of 5 pounds of ice. And so I'd my butt hurts. And then I'd sit on this, and then they'd pack it. Or, my hand hurts or elbow. My hand was swollen, my elbow was swollen. I had rash from the rocks, going down the rocks.
Your torso. Yeah.
Torso, up and down my leg, all over my
arm,
forearms.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So you obviously, and what was interesting too is you had this huge gash in your foot, but it wasn't bleeding.
Yes.
So and then instantly, I think it was some of y'all knew that you could have some internal bleeding.
That never even crossed my mind. I think they were kind of whispering it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just sitting there because at the time you kind of feel bad, we have this great day planned that we're going to go, and it was only 11 o'clock in the morning. First place we'd gone to after leaving the houseboat, and everybody's looking at you like, "Are you alive?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. Let's just calm down, figure this out. My butt's bruised. I got a gash.
I just fell 70 feet.
we got super glue, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So nobody really even said anything about internal bleeding at the time. I was just luckily somehow when I fell and rolled, I protected my head. I was kind of pushing off the rocks. And so I never hit my head, and I could move my feet. And so I can move your feet.
Spine's not fractured.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I could wiggle my feet, and I missed my head completely. So there was no bruising or anything on my head at that point.
So you get back to houseboat. They're taking a look at you, and you weren't doing well.
So it's an hour ride back to the houseboat from there because we're parked in Gunsight. And so we went back there because we have service there. And I'm like, by the time we get back there, we can do an assessment and everything. So we get back there, and I was like, just get me up on the couch, kind of see how this goes. Mm-hmm. And our friend Lee gets underneath me as I'm lifting myself up, and he pushes from my backside and pushes, and I just blacked out again.
Yeah.
From the pain.
The pain through your pelvis, yeah.
And so I guess when I blacked out, they said my eyes rolled in the back of my head, and that my face turned gray or blue, or the color just left. Mm-hmm. And so my wife Aubrey jumped on and smacked me around, woke me back up.
Thank you, Aubrey. She's sitting right here.
Yeah. So she woke me up, and then they set me right back down, back on the ice, same place. And then they're like, "You don't have a choice. You at least got to go get checked out." And then it was conversation of, do we pull the boat out of the water when we get there and go into Page or what? And then we end up just calling into Antelope Point at that point.
So what point did they decide that we need to send life flight for you?
So we never did ask for life flight. But somewhere along the lines, they heard a head injury.
Well, okay.
Which we don't know where that came from. But it was, I mean, it's still an hour ride or so back from Gunsight into Antelope Point. And so we're pulling into Antelope Point, and at that point, you could see a helicopter landing. And we're on the phone, and we're like, we'll meet you in front of the store.
Well, if you're losing consciousness too, they're obviously whatever message is being relayed. They're concerned about all these things: internal bleeding, hemorrhaging, yada. So actually, that's really good news that that choice was made for the life flight.
In hindsight, in my mind, just get me to Page and get this figured out. I didn't think there was anything life threatening. Like, I was pretty calm overall, and we pulled up to the dock, and the life flight guy's there, and all he is doing is, what day is it? Who's the president? What's your birthday? Yeah. And I'm just like, this is dumb. Like, and I'm like, my head's fine. I don't know what the big deal is. Like, my butt's bruised.
Yeah.
I'm hurting. And at this point, the last little bit, because anybody who's been to Powell, you're in that last stretch. It's pretty bumpy with all the boats going in and out. And so that last little bit, like, I was feeling the bumps, I was feeling everything, and I'm like, the pain's starting to kick in, adrenaline's gone. I mean, I think it took us 3 hours to get back. So, yeah.
So they load you on and I know Aubrey kind of shared what she had to drive. They ended up taking Claire to St. George.
Yeah. So,
and you get to the trauma. Oh, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
So, and I'm like arguing. I'm like, I don't need to go on the helicopter. I'm fine. And then there's a video of the fall, and they showed it to one of the people, the helicopter pilot, and the girl looked at the whole video of the fall, and she goes, "We're using the bird," and she did the little finger signal, like, "Yep, you're flying." And at that point, they told my wife Aubrey that he's going to St. George, and so it was a.
And the irony is, they load you on this helicopter, and put some meds in you, and then we're out. We're actually at Lake Powell.
Yeah.
My family with Chase and Tiffany, some other friends of ours, and Aubrey must have called Chase because we were over in Wawee Bay, and we're out surfing, and Chase pulls up to me and says, Aubrey just called, and Heber's been hurt. And probably, I don't know, half hour before that, I saw Life Flight.
Yeah, you guys were
kind of going out that way. And I'm like, oh, that's not great. And so they were actually headed towards St. George. So you must have already been loaded up because that's when you called Chase. But so here you are. You end up in this trauma unit in St. George, and you're there. And what's going on? You see all these.
So I remember most of the flight. I kept looking over. They'd already cut my life jacket off at the dock, and then so all I had was a swimming suit, and they'd cut that off there. And I don't remember ever going through the CAT scan thing, or obviously I wasn't strapped to anything. I was sitting on a metal table and I had like 15, 20 surgeons just looking at me. Next thing I remember waking up, and it was just kind of like, holy crap.
So you end up, your injury you sustained, let's kind of go through that really quickly. You definitely had fractured toes.
Yep.
Lacerated toes. But you had something with your pelvis that they call an open book fracture of your pelvis, right?
Yep.
And you also had 5, if I remember right, there was 5 transverse processes fractured in your lumbar spine, your low back, as well as some rib fractures.
And punctured lung.
Punctured lung. You had internal bleeding as well. All these things. And so, you're going through all of this stuff. What was going through your mind? It's like, and correlate this back to the things you love in life: hunting, being out in the wilderness, being active, being healthy, taking care of yourself, being conscious of your physical well-being. And here you are with significant injury. And what was kind of going through your mind?
Well, even loading me onto the helicopter, I was like, I've got a bear hunt to do. I just had started a bear hunt, and I even told them right then, I'm like, I've got to be bear hunting in a couple of days. Like, this
this doesn't work for me.
This doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't got
And
time
so
for
that's interesting because that's your passion shows up. Like
Yeah.
the thing I love in life outside of my wife is this, and that's what shows up is like, no, I got to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
And to me, that's okay. I'm just going to be what's coming up for me is that's when your healing began. That internal drive that this is what I love about my life, and I'm going to go do this because I'll be honest with you, and your surgeons have told you this, and your recovery from this has been unlike anything most of us have ever seen. And there's a correlation there to me between what you do in life and how you recovered. What would and your physical strength was so beneficial in your recovery, taking care of your body. So you had surgery on your pelvis, and we've seen the x-rays and the results of that. And so what's been some of the things you've realized about yourself because of this, would you say?
Well, I mean, they told me, like, right, those next few days in the ICU, that they're like, you're not going to be walking for 6 to 9 months. And every time I heard that, I was just like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I've got this to do, I've got this to do. I don't got time to.
Yeah.
And even people like who know me, like Lee, he's like, cut that into a third, basically.
He said whatever that into, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, whatever they tell you, just cut it.
So what have you learned about yourself through this whole situation?
That you can push through and heal yourself.
Yeah. And what about when injury shows up to have the foundation of structural and strength and integrity that you had? And so we know that when people are stronger and they have greater range of motion, they're active, recovery is much greater because life will happen.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah, to everybody.
And so if you were to say, give, some ideas to people about taking care of themselves when, when life happens, sort of what have you learned about that sort of thing for yourself?
Like, which part?
Well, I would say, here's what I'm getting at, right? Like, to me, for you to come through this is a testament of how you do life.
Yeah.
And so, for you, I think for you, it's like it's just a thing.
Yeah.
You don't put too much stock in. Well, shoot, I just went through this. I'm gonna get fine. I'm gonna get better. And I'm strong. And I'm gonna be hunting again. I'm gonna take care of myself. But for a lot of people, they would never have got up from the mat here. They were like, no, my life is quote unquote over. I'll never be able to bear hunt again. I'll never, go elk hunting again. Because if people actually understood the significance of your injury and the fact that we're 3 months out and you've been walking now, you started walking post surgery. How many weeks?
About 5 weeks.
5 weeks
after.
You've been doing your thing. You're committed to your excellence. And to be honest with you, and I know you're humble about this, but from the outside, it's tremendous.
For me, there was no other choice. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's like going back, once I heard that I'm going to have a 100% recovery and I'm going to walk again. It was like, okay, well, what do we got to do? Like,
yeah.
And it's like my deadline, like I want to be hiking here in another 3 weeks, like hiking mountains with a pack on.
And so you're doing that now. You've been doing
that. Yeah, I'm doing it, but I'm doing like 2 to 5 miles. I want to be doing more than that.
You've been horseback riding.
Yep.
And so an open book fracture, so people that know, you can look it up on ChatGPT, but open book fracture is where the pelvis, literally from the pubic bone, opens like this, like a book.
Yeah.
And ruptures through the middle. So you've got screws going through your sacrum. You've got, things wired together back in there. You have 5 lumbar spine lumbar spine transverse process fractures. And if you're ever interested, folks, look what all attaches to the transverse processes, which are vital to movement.
Yeah.
Core stability, extension, flexion, movement of your torso. And the fact that you actually don't have neurological injury, knock on wood, is incredible.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that you have been through similar situations, they're in a chair.
Yeah.
So I know.
And then my feet have been another thing. I mean, there was 5 fractures in both feet. And luckily I never, they told me a few days later that I wouldn't need surgery on there. So that was another big thing.
So through all this whole thing, incredible experience, still going through it.
Yeah.
I've loved seeing your progress. It's been inspiring to me. I've told so many people about it. And I know you were like, it's just a thing. It's just what I'm choosing to do. But that's a unique thing that I'm getting to that inspires others about you. And you've always been the kind of guy that's kind of just like, yeah, it's just what I'm going to do. But yet, thanks for being committed to yourself.
Yeah, there's no other choice. I mean, I got to get. I mean, going back to my passion, it's like I've got to be able to do so much.
Yeah.
By a certain point, and when doctors say you're going to do that again, that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah. So if you were to tell people, have something that you're passionate about, committed to.
Yep.
And when life happens, stay committed to it.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Yep.
And no matter what you've personally been through. And to also have people in your life that love and support you.
Yeah, and I've had my wife was there, and she stayed. I mean, I think we did 16, 17 days in the hospital. She was there the whole time. You came in several times, and a couple things. I mean, and my legs didn't work for a bit. I'd have to have somebody move them. And one of the things you said was, well, work on the things that you can do. Like your arms still move. You can still work out your arms. And one of the side notes is, there was a time in the hospital when we went into I had him take me into the employee gym in the hospital. And it was like I started working my back and chest again, and it was almost like a switch turned on at that point that my body said, it's time to start healing. And it was just getting that pump and the blood flowing, even though I couldn't move my legs and do anything with my legs still. But it stemmed back to what you were saying, just work you're injured. Yeah, you can't do this, but you can still work the things that you can work.
Yeah, work what works.
Yeah, work what works.
And the body is fascinating that way, is because there'll be neural input, there'll be vascular input, because the body, body when it's injured spends so much energy repairing. So and then again, we talked about this for you. It's like, well, no, I want to push it.
Yeah.
And there is pushing that's great.
Yeah.
But then there's also resting that's great.
Yeah. And your body tells you that. That I would feel good one day and I would push it, and the next day it was like, you feel it.
So what have you learned about? Because I also get that you're not the type of person that wants to rest a lot.
No.
So what have you learned about rest?
Well, you got to give your body a break to heal.
Yeah.
But with that said, you can push as much as you can, and it's going to hurt, but you still got to give that rest time. And I mean, if you listen to your body, you'll know.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's the key is listen to what your body is saying. And it's one of those things we talk about with injury healing, but also it's like I like to listen to my body every time whatever I eat.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that did not work for and it's interesting how immediately the information's there. Like, yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah.
But now it's down in there, and I've got to figure out how to digest this, whatever it is. And next time I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So there's this listening about your metabolics. You mentioned when you started lifting again with your chest and the things that did work, that you had this vascular response. You're like, oh, I feel that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know what you're describing, but your life has been about health and fitness, and so that, oh, my body's telling me to do this. So I would love, if as people listen to this podcast, they'll start to kind of do their own self-exploration about, I wonder what Heber's talking about there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I feel better when I do this. Because I'm telling you, being in healthcare for as long as I have, there's a lot of people that don't get what you just described. You know what I mean by that? It's like, oh, there's another thing here. There's a whole nother level of being conscious about yourself that you're describing. So, but yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Feeling good. I mean, it's still a process. I mean, it's figuring out where the pain is and then working around that pain. And that's one thing you've helped me with a lot is I'll come in and I'll be like, this is what's hurting me. And then we like look at the muscles around it and then I just focus on working those muscles around it. And that kind of wakes that up or strengthens it. And it's doing that every day and then recovering a little bit. And at first it was like, I would do those things and then I would sit down and I would stiffen up and I'd have to rest the rest of the day. And that was about 3 weeks ago where I could work out, rest a bit, and then I could still start. At that point, I was able to do things a little bit the rest of the day. It's just that period's gotten shorter and shorter that I'm able to do more and more each day.
Yeah, it's like we always talk about. It's like, well, and that's what one of the things I love about biomechanics when someone has a situation. It's like, what is it with this scenario? Because you've described some things that you're experiencing that are very unique. And so it's that discovery in combination with some, us as teammates here going, what is going to optimize Heber's recovery? And I knew for a fact that you would just do it. No matter what we ever came up with, you had your own ideas. And I've actually learned from you when it comes to you kind of sort of doing this self-discovery about, hey, what can I do about this? Or what can I do about this? And I think that for a lot of people there's no recipe here.
No.
Right? Like there's no A plus B equals C here with this recovery. And I find that's what's interesting too about some of the things we do with concussion. There's no recipe.
Yeah.
It's like, no, let's find a way to optimize this person's outcome. And then, like with you, you're committed to doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm just going to do this. That's what's refreshing as someone like the work we do is like, oh, Heber's committed.
Well, and it's almost like and it sounds funny, but if you're doing that and it's hurting, that's probably what you need to be doing is what's crazy.
There's this difference between, hey, it's a hurt that's doing something, and a hurt I'm not doing.
And understanding pain.
Understanding pain.
Is it a good pain or a bad pain?
Exactly. And that's where you've learned from years of wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some situations we're in a wrestling where that's not a good pain. But you're like, oh, but there's also...
It's a growing pain.
It's a growing pain.
And that's what you're looking for is the growing pains.
Yeah. So, anyway, brother, I love you. Thanks for coming on the Two Thumbs Up podcast. I'm super interested in where you go from here, and we'll keep plugging away.
We still got a ways to go.
Yeah, but honestly, thanks for inspiring a lot of us, truly, in your recovery and who you are, your commitment to yourself. So, appreciate you, bro. Thank you. We love you, folks. Thanks for joining to the Two Thumbs Up podcast. Again, we're sponsored by Concussion Pros, Alpine Integrated Health, and with Within Consulting. Check us out.